All right, my review of the Empire State Trail, the section that I did today from Queensbury, which you actually pick up the trail a bit further south, but I went from Queensbury to Albany. Day one of 3 days. I'll finish up in New York City on Friday. Broke it up into 3 segments, staying in hotels along the way. Bike packing at its best. All right, here's my suitcase, which I almost lost. I mean, 5 miles into the ride, I reached back, grabbed something out of one of my back pockets, and this fell out. Fortunately, I've either heard it fall or subconsciously realized that it had come out. So, off to a good start. Weather was perfect today. It was cloudy, overcast, so no issues with the heat. Was a short sleeve jersey day, short sleeves, so no overheating, which was super good for me. I sweat a ton, so not having to worry about that was key. Just enough headwind, just enough headwind to where pedaling wasn't hard on the pedals. Like, I was never going for a time. I rode solo. I was alone until I got to Albany. I never saw another cyclist, very few cars. But my initial impressions, the section of the Empire Trail, which was the Lake Champlain Canal trail, which runs north-south, south-north, depending, wherever you're going. I'm not sure exactly where it ends up north, but I've got on the trail right around Fort Edward. And I've ridden parts of that before, but never this far south. So you meander, from Queensbury over to Fort Edward on the Feeder Canal Trail. And then once I was on the Feeder Canal Trail, it just jumps you onto the Empire State Trail. And it's extremely well marked. The signs are there. It transitions from rail, I'm assuming they're towpaths or rail trails that have been converted into multi-use bike-centric pathways. Mix of terrain, sometimes smooth, crushed gravel, sometimes just shared roadways. The stretch along Route 4 south from Fort Edward to, I think it's Mechanicville. I'll have to go back and look. It's not terrible. It's just so much of the same. It's just constantly the same. You lose sight of the canal at one point. So for me, it just got a little dull. It was the same thing. Trees, more trees, more trees. And the upside, no traffic, very little traffic. But on the downside, there's just nothing. You're out there by yourself. So today, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, there was nothing. There was a cute little town, Stillwater, that broke up the end of that. I think it was that before I got to Mechanicville, because Mechanicville is the first time I really turned off of Route 4. So you meander through there, and I would have liked to have gotten some video to figure out what exactly that town's all about. I might have to just go back. But there was no real bike path there, no shoulder in the roadway, and the time of day that I got there, I guess school was letting out, or people that work, until 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the afternoon, they were heading home. So there was a little too much traffic to try to do the one-hand cameraman ride a bike thing. So didn't get much of Stillwater, but it looked super cool. They had it decked out. Seemed like it was one road, and just that Route 4, maybe 1 or 2 side roads off of it, but just snaked along the canal. Then you got to Mechanicville, and that was like the first real town since, if you want to call Fort Edward a real town. All right, so built up, didn't stop anywhere along the way, just kind of pedaled through there. The map got it a bit wrong I don't know if it's a new one-way street, and I think I took a video. I wound up having to ride on the sidewalk for, I don't know, 10 minutes, just so I could get back to where, just so I could follow the map that I had with Ride with GPS. I just didn't want to deal with trying to figure it out or having it re-navigate, reroute. So did that, got through there, and then, you know, you just following this, I don't know if it's a mix of the Mohawk Trail and the Empire State Trail, if they overlap or they intersect. But when I finally got to Troy, just an experience. I didn't know where Broadway was. I didn't know how the Empire State Trail crossed over the roadways there. I was confused, but it took me a minute to figure it out. And then once you get there, it's really nicely, again, clearly marked, and you follow it all the way to Albany. Then when I got to Albany, there was a Skyway Bridge, I think they call it, to where I was heading at least. And so, you know, you just follow the trail right along I'm not sure if it's the Hudson at that point. It might be. I was looking out the window as if I could see it from the hotel, but there's one building too many in the way. So yeah, you're following a waterway. I'm not sure if it's the Hudson at that point. And then cross over into the city, and hotel was right there on the other side. So painless for me to get here. Upside, extremely well marked. The Empire State Trail signage, it's there. I mean, you can't really miss it. The website itself has the GPX file, so you can actually download that and put it into any mapping software application that you want, and, you know, edit, modify, read it. You know, it was pretty painless. The Garmin had the directions loaded in there, so I really didn't even have to think about it. And for the most part, every time that there was a new sign indicating a turn, you had a warning or an indicator from the mapping software, so it was super easy to follow. The wildlife, I had a run-in with the Canadian cobra chickens. All their hatchlings, goslings, they were super protective, and they were numerous. And this one flock was I don't know if they're families, I don't know. There's obviously more than one pod, I don't know, flock of them. But anyway, there were about a dozen of them, and by the time I got to the tail end, one of the mama goose, I don't know what she was, she got aggressive, or he got aggressive, and I actually had to get off the bike. I think I got some video of that. That was wild. But yeah, for the most part, not a whole lot of wildlife that I saw. Not even roadkill. I mean, it was just, like I said, just pedal your bike, pedal your bike, pedal your bike. Didn't see anybody else using the trail network until I actually got to Albany. And then it was nicely used. I mean, there were people, a dozen or more. I got a video of a couple bicycle riders. And then as soon as I tried to pass them, I think they almost crashed because they weren't aware that I was coming. But I apologized and just kept going because I knew I was close to the hotel and wanted to get here and get some food and get some rest and prepare for tomorrow. So would I recommend it to check off on a bucket list? Sure. I mean, with company, absolutely. As a group ride, 100%. Yeah, it's just long enough on a day trip. Like, you could do this in a day, you know, flip around. You could make it a super long day and just do it there and back. But yeah, from a point to point with a friendly group, it's super easy. Just enough change of surface, just enough twists and turns, just enough scenery that it was fun. Again, though, I was alone. listening to the sound of my pedals going round and round and round, and, you know, your own thoughts for over 3 hours. It's, you know, it is what it is, but we've all been there. But yeah, I wouldn't do it again right away, but I would definitely recommend it for anyone that wants to see that stretch of the Lake Champlain or Champlain Canal network, whatever it's called. So I'll end it there, and I'll go and get some food, and I will try to stitch together the various videos that I took, because I haven't even looked at them yet. All right, day 2 tomorrow. Albany to New Paltz, about 140K, 150K. Later. Getting ready for my ride to New York City starting tomorrow. There is nothing like a clean drivetrain. Got everything that I'm gonna bring. Super light bike packing trip. So I'm gonna carry all of this with me each day. Well, each day the food part will get lighter, and hopefully the tubes part doesn't. But yeah, a couple of bottles, some more electrolyte. Okay. All right, day 1, Queensbury to New York City. Stage 1, I guess. It's going to be Queensbury to Albany, so just about 100K. And then 140, 150, day 2, and then 160-ish, day 3. So we'll see how this goes. First stretch of bike path, little cinder path here along the feeder canal. Follow this all the way to Fort Anne. Well, Fort Edward. Oh. Traffic jam. Hey, move it. Come on. Let's see what they do. They don't seem to want to get... I have to stop dropping stuff. Just had to go back, find my wallet pouch. Ugh. These are pretty cool. The remnants of the old lock system. So you got a little feeder canal there. Now turned into this bike path. And there it begins. Here, old train station that a bike shop has moved into. Where I pick up the Fire Trail, heading south. Now up to the Champlain Canal and all the locks. There's one right there. Just stay on this for a while. A while by that means a long way. Got another 20 miles of this. Not much else has changed. So just cruising down Route 4. Saw an eagle. Saw maybe 3 cars. Currently right now 19 miles an hour, 20 to a little bit of a wind. Not too bad. Update you when anything exciting happens. Okay. Halfway there to Albany, still on Route 4. It's still the same. Nice wide bike path, but nothing. None of the same. Trees, occasional canal, not a whole lot to actually see. So I'll check in when I get to Troy, I guess. Alright, somewhere. Oh, Mechanicville. Okay. Cruised along the canal. Went through Stillwater. No video. No good shoulder bike lane. But pretty cool. I'd definitely go back and see what the deal is there. Here's Mechanicville. First turn I've made in, well, since Fort Edward. Just stayed on that Route 4. So cruise through here, wait until drive with GPS in the Garmin and tell me to turn. 20 miles to go. Alright. Okay. Change of pace. Out of Mechanicville, a couple miles south maybe. Turned off of Route 4. And then the Empire Trail gets on what I would describe as a power line easement maybe. Cinder Trail, more of a footpath. See where this goes. Well, this Goose family doesn't want me riding by. Hey, man, relax. It's okay, Mama Goose. I'm leaving. Share the trail. Share the trail. There you go. Fuzzy gooses. Canadian cobra chickens. Okay. Off the gravel path. Now on this paved path. A road, so maybe it isn't. I don't know where I am. Just keep following the signs. That last stretch on the little gravel bits, scenic, nice, except for the geese, super aggressive geese. Lots of wildlife, good stuff to see. Broke up the regularity of all the nature I mean, it's just tree after tree after tree, but there was some nice break up there. Now I'm riding next to, I guess is I don't know what that is. Gas plant? Electric plant? Oh, there we go. Yeah. Maybe an electric plant? Don't know. Back on the Scenic Gravel path alongside this canal. Assuming that's a canal. But yeah. Nice. It's already a cloudy day, but I imagine on a sunny day these trees will provide nice shade. Alright, some more one-handed video. Based on what I've seen, I'm going to say that the American Railroad and early 20th century road infrastructure, I mean this one might, yeah, it says 1913, might be America's monoliths. And you know, the ones that are all decrepit and run down are the ruins. Yeah, this is the North Bridge to People's Island. One-lane bridge. Next to that, which I don't think you can really see, they have this boardwalky thing. I don't know if it's always been there. It's there now. Yeah, I think I'm in Troy. I haven't seen any signs. Things got a little messy there. Just south of Troy, riding alongside, I think that's the 787 highway. Been on there on the way to the train station. About 5 miles from the hotel in Albany. It was a little messy coming off the trail there. Troy, Water, Valet, I don't know how to pronounce that. But yeah, just do a little wiggle, get on this nice bike path. See how it goes. Almost done. Look. Other cyclists. First ones I've seen today. Alright. Albany. Clippity cloppity. Day one. Done. Not perfect, but done. Some of the final kilometers were a little confusing with the cue sheet and the GPS, but let's wrap now. Bigger ride tomorrow.